Path of Exile 2 just completely destroyed the competition, okay? They knew what they were doing when they targeted the last Epoch, because not a lot of things can actually go against this. There's gonna be 100 new support gems. 100! Is that actually more than Path of Exile 1? In any case, doesn't matter, it's gonna be amazing. And even more than that, the huntress. Oh yes. Diablo had the Amazon, which was one of the greatest things in every teenage adolescent boy's dreams. Yes, everyone knows what I'm talking about. And spears are absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10. I love it. Everyone does. Spears are like the second most popular weapon, rivaling daggers, obviously only taken by swords. Okay? It's amazing. It is. Everyone loves spears. And finally, it's here. Diablo said, no, we're gonna make a shit game. We're not even gonna bring spears to the table. Path of Exile 2 said, here's a hot titty bitty with spears, because reasons.
Welcome, exiles, to the huntress, taming beasts, being able to ride a roar.
But look at these skills. That's lit. I mean, Blizzard had the Javazon. Path of Exile said, yeah, the Javazon was kind of cool. Let's just introduce the Javazon.
And that's going to be a new skill for everyone. And shooting out cyclones of ice, lightning, or fire. While also...
Oh, God. Oh, Thunder Fury.
Having the opportunity to do a complete bleed build, parry enemy strikes.
Look at this! Maybe I'm not gonna stop playing Flicker Strike at this point.
Oh boy, there's so much to tell you. Your main two skills will be Whirling Slash. You create this whirlwind around you, and it gets bigger the more you do on the spot. If you then leave this Whirling Slash, boom, it'll explode. Pretty much, dash into an opponent, Whirling Slash, keep moving, vap, they die. That's step number one. Your second ability is a ranged...
God, I love this gameplay so much. Slow, methodical, okay? I'm tired. I'm tired of PoE ones. Zoom, zoom, I'm a zoomer. Zoom, zoom. Vape. Zoom, zoom a little bit more, okay? Literally the only thing that the average PoE 1 streamer was missing was 3 fucking vapes and 2 sit-ups to watch TikToks. Fucking hell. And PoE 2 fixes this.
Option, we're shooting twisters forward. And now comes the interesting combination of these two. If you do your Whirling Slash around you and then shoot the twisters out, they'll be multiplied by the Whirling Slash. This gets followed up by your Bugler. Yep, we can now parry from this point on. Boop, you parry it, and they're getting primed for a counterattack that will do devastating damage. The problem with parrying too much will be that enemies are continuously beating you down and you'll actually get stunned and land on your knees. So use the parry smartly and not just spam it. That's the very basic of the Hunters. You do have elemental spears too, like the Chain Lightning Spear or an Explosive Spear. Now, the Explosive Spear at first...
it takes a while, but there's probably ways to detonate faster.
First seems taking quite a while to get off, which is not too amazing. But there's a way.
That's because you can probably combo it with something. That's good. I love it.
To empower them, though, with Frenzy Charges. If you parry and kill an opponent, you get a Frenzy Charge.
All spare throws on the Huntress can also be empowered by Frenzy Charges.
Though I'm not gonna lie, that already sounds like a failed mechanic.
For example, Explosive Spears will do an even larger explosion and leave fire on the ground.
Okay.
And these empowered versions can activate even more combos. Using Whirling Slash over ground fire will suck it into the whirlwind, adding fire to the explosion.
Nice.
Using twisters inside a fire whirlwind will shoot out fire tornadoes as well.
Makes sense.
Right. And that goes for every single element. If you find a way to make...
And this is without support gems, by the way. Well, not that support gems are... That is one thing I'm wondering currently about PoE, because all these systems encounter problems, okay? It's different problems, but Path of Exile is encountering these problems. Path of Exile 2 is encountering these problems. Diablo 4 is encountering these problems, and Last Epoch is encountering these problems. And all of these problems are different, but that's because, as far as I can tell, there's no really perfect way to customize skills. For example, Last Epoch, I really love the customization way that they do the skills there. But it's kind of limiting because you can't really bypass power creep if you want to add new nodes. It's just impossible, right? So it's going to introduce power creep if you want to keep growing the trees. Or you need to add a new system on top, but that's again more power scaling if it's a late game, end game system. Diablo 4 just doesn't have customization. Well, it does have, but it doesn't have real customization. Like, the skill tree, skill fucking twig doesn't really do shit to customize how abilities work. It never saves them, it never makes them viable. And then there's items with legendary affix that you need to use to make them viable, which is not great because you kind of want more damage on skills, not to just make them actually viable for gameplay, which is shit. Path of Exile 1 encountered the biggest problem so far yet we have seen with skills, and that is the fact that Grinding Gear games refuse to make certain type of support skills that would make unique gameplay changes to certain skills, because Grinding Gear games face the problem of, hey, if we make a support gem that does this, for example, arrow skills, like make them all fall down from the top, well, that means that we can no longer ever make skill gems like that, which would be better and more longevity. So that encountered that. PoE 2 now is gonna, well, again, this is for the future. This is for the future. Currently, you may not even agree with me. Currently, you may think I'm gonna fucking tweaking out my ass here, boys. It is what it is. Sometimes you have to tweak out your ass. It happens. In Path of Exile 2, we may have actually a problem where support skill games just don't really do that much interesting, because all of this is already built into the skill itself. So, Path of Exile is going to make support gems into kind of like, okay, this is like more of a damage multiplier than actually anything else, which was already a PoE 1 thing, by the way. And because they now need to strike this balance between, oh, we put in a support gem here that changes how the skill works, or we make the skill to work differently by default. And both of these systems take from each other. They will cannibalize each other inevitably. Maybe not at the start, maybe not now, but like in a couple of seasons when the game launches. But, like, you know, maybe even on Season 3, we're going to see a problem where skill gems are cannibalizing support gems, or support gems are cannibalizing skill gems. Because, again, I don't think there is a real solution to make... All of these systems are nice at the start, but all of these systems kind of turn a little bit sour when you introduce seasons and new mechanics and things.
Make frozen ground. You'll shoot out frozen tornadoes. If you make shocked ground.
Frozen tornadoes sounds like that post on Fortune when someone asked, can Americans shoot enough bullets in a tornado to stop it?
You shoot out lightning tornadoes.
And you can do similar combos with ice and lightning too.
Oh, that looks nice.
The Herald of Ice, Ash, Thunder, Super Huntress, igniting, firebombing, among other things. That would be the tri-elemental fun that is potentially possible, or just focus on one element, or just do the Herald of Ice plus Herald of Thunder that the monk is pretty much doing. Alone that whirling slash and the whirlwinding, that's few of the 20 plus skills the huntress is getting. There's another archetype though that I'm way more excited for, and that would be the Bleed Huntress. And we're getting 100 new support skills, 100 and 100 new mid to end game uniques, which also
that is a lot.
Yes, finally.
Now,
okay, listen. If I was Last Epoch, I would be like, maybe we need to push out release date back even a bit more. No. Okay, now Last Epoch has a good chance to get a lot of PoE players and a lot of streamers because they're going to get burnt out. People are going to get burnt out so fast with all of these options because they're going to be like, I need to try all of these new things. A lot seems good, but then you understand a lot may actually mean people burn out. So Last Epoch could actually scoop a pretty decent amount of streamers or and people from PoE too. If they time it right. A week and a half sounds kind of good. Let's do that. Because, again, way too many new things means people are going to be burning out a lot.
A key aspect of hunting is exhausting your foes by causing blood loss. This skill is Rake, which dashes towards your target and unleashes a deadly slash, opening up wounds on your enemies. Follow up with Disengage and watch them bleed out as they run towards you.
Not too exciting yet, but wait for it.
On the health bar of monsters, you can see
How much bleed they have? Top.
Yeah. Okay.
Finally, it's visual. You bleed them, and you notice they do actually have a significant amount of bleed. You don't have to guess for it
how
anymore.
much blood loss the enemy has experienced, and the Huntress has skills to take advantage of this. For example, using Blood Hunt will thrust forward and cause a bloody explosion.
Nice.
The more blood loss, the bigger the explosion.
Uh-huh.
If you want to cause bigger bleeds, try out Rapid Assault.
Rapid Assault is... It's the level 1 Amazon skill. Jab, Joust, don't remember what it's called.
The final hit of this multi-hit combo will stick a spear into your enemy.
Against bosses, we're just assaulting them, I guess, and we're stabbing them to stick spears into them. Then there's a spear jump that can explode any spear in your vicinity or stuck in the opponent. We can finally see the blood loss on our opponents, dash in, and then explode them too. And there'll be support gems that, for example, create hemo crystals. Hemo crystals will be formed out of an opponent and explode with the rest amount of bleed they have in an area of effect, going for devastation throughout the battlefield.
For a big bleed.
What exactly is the Latin interpretation of hemo? Is it blood loss? Hemo crystals, blood loss crystals. Makes sense. Okay. By the way, here's the trick to the Latin language and sometimes sounding smart. All of the fancy words in our vocabulary are pretty much created usually using 2 fucking Latin words put together. Most diseases are just 2 or 3 Latin words put together. Hemo meaning Latin. Word forming element of blood. Okay, so it's just hemo is just blood. Okay, hemomancer. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Blood mage. Okay, Old French, Homo Latin, hemo from Greek, blah blah blah. Okay, so hemo is just blood. So okay.
Now, Explosive Spear and Rapid Assault both result in leaving spears behind, either in the ground or in enemies. But there are other skills that leave spears around too, like Storm Lance, that leaves an electrical spear that arcs towards enemies. But what can you do with all these spears? Detonate them, of course. Thunderous Leap will allow you to jump onto and explode any spears, either in the ground or in your enemies.
That seems such... Again, spears are so cool, okay? We need daggers. Okay, we need we need flicker strike daggers. Okay, listen, PoE2. I'll give you my firstborn child if you make that a thing.
Make a field of spears with whatever abilities you wish to, and then explode everyone around you. Could even prepare this for a boss. And if you see the boss spawning, or if you know that something comes out in essence, you create a field of spears, and then with one whoop, you just have this massive effect of super critting. Makes me wonder if you could play a blood mage fully on crit that will then be a huntress.
Yes, probably.
With a lot of life. This was all different attack combos. Now to the taming.
As hunting animals, the huntress also has the ability to work with them. While fighting any beast, you have the ability to tame it and use it as a companion. You can only have one companion at a time, but it will keep the mods that were on it. Try to find a rare beast with good mods to take full advantage of your ability to tame.
this is not gonna work.
chamber.
Now they say a rare beast.
Now, admittedly, this could do wonders.
Can I not resummon humanoids? Is it
No.
only going to be bees?
Yes.
Monkeys?
Yes.
Dragons? Drakelings? Undead? What does count as beasts?
No.
Still though. Amazing. Just getting your own little beast companion like this
Yeah, I mean, you could probably get a female woman.
as a passive skill? Sure, why not? Now these were just some of the
Hey.
skills the hunters will have. There is 20 new skills coming. Way more combinations
Yes!
possible. But I do believe you get a feeling for the playstyle that we see. Blood explosions, lightning overwhelming with a Herald of Thunder, ice winding and going crazy, shooting a pillar of lightning from the sky.
Oh, that's not a pillar of lightning. That's a pillar of fire.
Ice winding and going
What god had this shit?
crazy, shooting a pillar of lightning from the sky. GGG cooked. We're also getting 2 ascensions with the huntress. The first one is the Ritualist, and the second one would be the Amazon. The Amazon already very much looks like it's going to be the
Spears.
Invoker Monk with tri-elemental or double elemental blasting.
Well, the first ascension class you could choose is the Ritualist. The Ritualist has embraced the darker side of his merry traditions by harnessing the power of animal sacrifice and plague. The corrupted life force
Plague? I love plague.
skill causes all enemies around you to grow volatile blood boils on their skin. When those enemies are slain, the boils will burst, spreading corrupted blood to all enemies around them. The Ritualist also
Wow, that is literally inbuilt clear. That's gonna clear screens.
excels in
That's behind me, and it says you get 1 ring slot that you wear around your neck. You can see this here.
Ooh,
3 ring slots.
That's
Just like that.
That's probably gonna be one of the strongest ascendancies in a couple of patches. I mean, there's gonna be some overpowered unique rings with ridiculously good aspects. I think every class that has that, oh, I'm gonna equip a new piece of gear is gonna be literally best. No questions. Like, other ascendancies are gonna need such heavy extreme damage calculation buffs for the late game because of the way that PoE does uniques. AKA uniques are unique, and the uniques typically add something new, different, combo potential and shit like that. So having 1 more ring slot, an extremely coveted slot by the way, is probably only going to be overthrown by having an extra amulet slot.
taking advantage of magical trinkets. The unfurled finger skill allows you to equip an additional ring on a finger around your neck. Taking Mystic
And with Mystic Attunement, you increase the value of what they do by 25%. Rings and amulets.
So that's a 75% stat boost for rings, effectively. Okay? No, wait, no, that's even more. Is that not combined effectiveness of 300 fucking percent? Oh, no. It is roughly 75%. But a combined value multiplier of... Okay, God. So, yeah, effectively, this just increases the power of rings by 75%. If you're just going for stats. So, take your ring stats and multiply them by 1.75. And there you go. That's effectively the ascendancy. That is crazy numbers. But again, that's not counting unique things.
You get a third one.
Attunement increases the bonuses of all the rings and amulets you have equipped. Now this is one of my favorites. As the Whispers Ask grants you a new skill, Ritual Sacrifice. Use the skill on the corpses of slain rare monsters to absorb the power in their blood to give you one of their modifiers for a short time.
I'm not sure
Boring.
how fun that is in the gameplay loop.
Yeah, if this is not automatic, it's not good.
Because you gotta kill, then you get a stab, then you get it. It's random. It's only a short amount of time here, 23 seconds. Maybe you can use like persistence to prolong the duration. But you're pretty much running around 30 seconds, then you gotta find the next opponent, stab it, and if there's nothing close by to stab, then you're not using your skill. It seems more like fun, gimmicky than like
It's a gimmick.
Maybe I'm just doubting for now. We'll see. I mean, the first two are already great. Having another ring slot and boosting your rings alone, that will just straight up give you DPS. If you have rings that give you percentile more damage or even flat more damage, and then that gets multiplied up.
Yeah, it's insane.
Specialize further into ritualistic sacrifice with As the Whispers Demand, which allows you to perform that skill on yourself instead of a corpse. Cut your own hand.
It says, ritual sacrifice can be used on yourself to remove 20% of maximum life to grant a random monster modifier. A maximum of 1 modifier can be granted this way. Which at least
permanent though?
That if there's a monster, you sacrifice it. And if there's no monster, you just get a random one. But it's a random one. It could be something good, I guess. Could be something terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not too excited by that one.
Sacrificing some of your own.
I mean, this sounds like something that no one plays. GGG decides to buff it, and it's the most played thing ever, and nothing even comes close to it.
Blood to empower yourself. The Amazon Ascension is for those looking to hunt more than just beasts. Trained as an elite guard to the most important Asmeri elders, the Amazon will use more traditional fighting techniques mastered to perfection. The predatory instinct skill will cause you to reveal.
So is this gonna be bows and spears, or just spears and bows, or just spears?
Weaknesses in the defenses of rare and unique enemies.
Reveal weaknesses, and then 50% more damage against enemies with open weaknesses. The weaknesses are in the life bar.
Insane.
These red on red thingies. Which means that if you reach the red bar in the red bar, you'll do 50% more damage in that phase. Elites seem to have, or bosses seem to have, 2 big weaknesses usually. Not bad.
Causing you to deal more damage. You can see those weak spots represented on their life bars. While using elemental infusion, any charges you consume will infuse your weapon with elemental power.
Yes.
Oh.
When you consume a power charge, trigger infused weapon to gain 2 cold infusion. When you consume an endurance charge, trigger infused weapon to gain 2 fire infusion. And when you consume a frenzy charge, trigger infused weapon to gain 2 lightning infusion.
Okay.
If
yeah,
we manage
makes
to
sense.
continuously get power and frenzy charges, we could play Ice Lightning Herald without a single issue. And there are so many ways to get power charges. Hell, the Common Frenzy skill that the Invoker Monk is using is just waiting for you to at least give you frenzy charges, or to turn those frenzy charges into power charges. Then you use the Lightning Spear that the Amazon has anyways, but that Lightning Spear can be easily cold infused. Oh, holy moly. Invoker Monk 2.0.
Causing any projectile attacks to explode on impact. The critical strike skill is as simple as it sounds. It takes your excess accuracy and gives it to you as critical strike charge.
Yes, 25% of access chance to hit with attacks is converted to additional critical hit chance.
Well,
And accuracy can be boosted quite a lot
probably.
over on the Ranger tree. There's many ways, especially percentile ways too, like get X% more accuracy, so on. Maybe you can finally boost that to the max. Not sure if this is going to be more useful than just taking critical strike chance notes.
Additionally, you have skills like Mystic Harvest, which allows your elemental damage to leech life.
Not bad.
Life Leech recovers based on your elemental damage as well as physical damage. Haha. And then
And as Mary Brew to the
Life Flask also recover mana. Mana Flask also recover life.
Okay.
I mean, we're infusing our weapons with elemental damage by getting charges to then have our charges leech for us and heal us at the same time, or our potions to either or heal us. Yeah.
will use either flask to restore both life and mana. So those are the 2 new ascendancies for the Huntress.
Pretty damn epic. Huntress is really showing up. Now, I
Yeah.
said something about riding a roar in the beginning, and that was introduced together with the huntress, but it will be available for every single class.
Since we've been talking about summoning undead so much, let's have a change of pace and summon something a little more alive. In Dawn of the Hunt, we're adding the Summon Roar skill.
Harness a companion roar that you can ride. While you're mounted on the roar, you can only use bow attacks and thrown spear attacks, run at full speed when attacking, and hits against you cause heavy stun buildup.
Ooh.
You can be thrown
Okay.
off the roar and then you're most likely dead. But you can continuously ride around on it.
Seems
Summon your friendly
cool.
rower to aid you in combat as a minion. You can also mount your rower in combat at any time, allowing you to move at full speed even while shooting arrows or throwing spears.
Oh,
Be
that
wary,
is
though. If
good.
you take too much damage while riding your mount, you can be knocked off and get overwhelmed. It's worth keeping an eye on your stagger bar, as falling off the mount can mean almost certain death. On the topic of new ways to enhance your character, let's talk about support gems. Support gems are
Interesting.
Be
Not
it
crazy,
stab,
but
parry,
certainly interesting.
whirling
This is a
slash.
list of all the skills that we're going to get. We get the disengage whirling slash twister explosive spear, then spear-filled lightning spear,
Dude, Spearfield is gonna be a build on its own.
Fangs of Frost, and Rage. Spearfield will create spears around you that arc outward. We get Barrage with Rapid Assault Stabbing, and then Storm Lance. That was the lance putting into the ground that arc outwards. Primal Strike, Glacial Lance, Blood Hunt, and Sniper's Mark. Then Thunderous Sleep, Bloodhound's Mark, and Tame Beast. I'd assume that the Bloodhound's Mark is there to boost the Blood build. With Whirlwind Lance, Elemental Thundering, then Wind Serpent's
Oh, Elemental Sundering sounds bis.
Fury, and the Spear of Solaris. That was the pillar of light you saw coming down in one of the video clips. A couple of
Yeah, that's the god. In PoE 1, yeah, that's the god. It did the attack. That's one. Solaris, I guess it's called.
archetypes and great builds already available. I'm quite excited to see which one performs better, Bleed builds or the Ice
Elemental Sunder sounds biz, boy.
Lightning kind of builds. It looks like we're getting tons of choice. We also get to throw an eye on two of the uniques the Huntress is going to get. Seta's Spear is going to add good damage from level 33 on already. That's fantastic.
What's the point of cause bleeding on hit if you're already causing bleeding on hit?
It has 20% chance to cause bleeding on hit. Then, aggravating any bleeding with this weapon also aggravates all ignites on the target. A bleed ignite build, making the ignites hit harder, making the bleed hit harder, just chunking down the opponent like crazy. And then 10% chance to aggravate bleeding on hit. Cool. The buckler is increased evasion rating, then infinite projectile parry range, and 50% increased parried debuff duration. This allows you to, on any distance, parry any projectile. Kind of attacks cannot cause bleeding. Supported skills consume bleeding on enemies. That it's 4 crystals per target. So if there's a lot of targets that you're hitting, then you're also creating a lot of crystals. Hit them with a rolling slam, and every enemy you hit made those hemocrystals.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's very cool. That's very cool. Anyway, Pony Hoof, 10 out of 10. Bye.